Today's class is all about opening your chest. And because everything's interrelated, when you open your chest area, sometimes it opens your energetic heart as well. Um, but we're going to work on this chest area because, you know, we spend so much of our time, these muscles get shortened like so many muscles do, and partly because we're rolled forward because we're typing or on our phones, or like the psoas, it's part, that gets shortened and tightened because of sitting all day, but this also gets tightened because of fight or flight, right? So this is part of this shape is part of our protect our body mode. So it's part of that fight or flight parasympathetic reaction. These things get tight and shortened as well. Um, so uh, from fires, from being on Zoom school, from having to be at home all day, for not having a home, politics, fighting with your sister, worrying about your mom, all these kinds of things get stored and stuck in this kind of area. So we're going to be working on opening our chest, and maybe you might notice that it opens your heart a little bit, or maybe exposes you to a little bit of vulnerability. I don't know why that's such a hard word for me to say, but apparently it is this morning. So in the chat, will you please check in with yourself and write 3 words? What's going on in your mind, your head, your body, and your heart? 3 separate words. It could be the same word 3 times, but how are you doing in your mind? How are you doing in your body? How are you doing in your heart? Please put put 3 words into the chat, all in a row, one big thing. Right? So today's practice, I want you to be mindful. So for me, mindful means to be aware, to notice what's going on with you without judgment, which can be very challenging for some of us to look at ourselves without that piece of judgment. So look at yourself with curiosity today. Um, and if you can't, if it's not really comfort in your body, can you be okay with discomfort? And that's going to be our challenge today. Just kind of notice what's going on, mind, body, and heart, and we'll see if we can get it to shift a little bit by the end of class. Okay. So we're going to start on our backs in constructive rest, like we've been doing in the last couple of class. That's on your back with your knees bent. So go ahead and find your spot. I'm going to switch cameras. And there's Luna taking up space. So constructive rest is bent knees. Sometimes people like to have their their feet wider than their hips and their knees flop together. Other people don't find that to be comfortable, so find what it is for you. And as you settle in, notice your breathing. And maybe even try a 3-part breath, which is belly, chest, and then fill it up at the very top of your chest. And then exhale everything out. So inhale belly, chest, and then fill up the top and everything out. Let's do that again. Belly, chest, top. And see what breathing feels natural and good for you today. And then switch around so I can lay my Lay flat. Okay, so knees are bent. Bring both knees into your chest and give yourself a little bit of self-massage. Rock left and right, forward and back, draw circles, whatever feels good. And then holding on to one of your knees, stretch the other leg out flat to the ground for what's known as flamingo pose. And again, you're welcome to draw circles on the ceiling or rock left and right, or just pull it in tighter and let it looser again, or just stay in stillness. We'll let somebody in while you guys are there. And then both knees back up into your chest. Again, roll around for a little lower back massage if that feels good. And then switch legs. So for me, that's right knee in, left leg flat. And again, do whatever feels good with your right knee, pulling it in, drawing circles, or just being in stillness. Don't forget to breathe. Try to breathe into your belly. And then both knees into your chest again. Rock left and right if that feels good. Let someone in. And now we're going to move into a double knee twist. So hands on top of your knees, flop your whole body over to the right side, and then peel your left shoulder towards the ground behind you. So it's a very gentle twist. If you want more sensation, you take your top knee and stack it over the left or bring it up past your knee. Maybe you can be okay with not having a lot of sensation. Just be kind of like an amoeba and breathe, even though you're in a twist. And then back up to vertical knees. Grab the tops of your knees again if you'd like. And then we're going to switch sides. So flop everything over onto your left. And then peel your right or your top shoulder, your right shoulder towards the ground behind you. And breathe. And then bring both knees back up to vertical again. And then I recommend rocking and rolling up to seated, and be playful with it if you'd like. Yeah, we're going to play. I like doing at least 3 rocks and rolls because I think it feels good. Come up to seated. And today we're going to be working on externally rotating our shoulders. Packing our shoulders is like the weightlifting term to describe what you want to do with your shoulders. Just like last time, we were paying attention to this space, the distance between your hips and your ribs. This time, you might end up having a lot more space here, but we're going to be focusing on trying to keep our shoulders in external rotation. So take your hand, place it on one shoulder, and bring the other arm out wide. Then try putting your palm towards the back of your space and feel what happens in your shoulder. Your shoulder rolls forward. This is what we don't want. Put your palm towards the front of the space or even up and feel what happens to your shoulder. It smooths this area out, and this is the shape that we want to maintain as much as possible throughout our practice today. So be aware of this sensation. Let's see what it feels like on the other side. So hand on your shoulder and try forward, rolling your arm so that your palm is facing towards the back of your space, which rolls your shoulder forward and makes it lumpy here, versus palm towards the front of your space or even up towards the ceiling and feeling what happens in this shoulder space. Now, can you maintain this packed shoulder sensation and bring your hand behind you? Oftentimes, when we bring our arms forward, we roll our arms behind us, we roll our shoulders forward. Again, we don't want that. So maybe if you think, oh, I can grab my elbows easily, make sure that your shoulder is not popping in that rolled forward position. So for me, I have to maybe reach for my pinkies or my hands, whatever it is, to make sure what you're trying to have this packed shoulder position. And then notice that when we have this kind of position, oftentimes our head likes to jut forward. Let's see if we can pull your ears over your shoulders again, even though we're in this position, and notice what kind of stretch this makes you have in terms of, you might feel something in this part of your chest or in your neck that you might be surprised about. Again, that's accentuating this idea that these muscles have become shortened because we live in this forward posture. So let's try to counteract that by opening everything up. Okay, so in your grab, whatever you're grabbed, see if you can do shoulder circles and notice where it gets not as smooth as you normally feel it, and switch directions. And come to neutral again. Again, pull your head back if you have a tendency to bring it into that forward position, pull it back, and then leaving one arm behind you. Take your head over to the opposite shoulder and feel it in your neck and this area. Breathe. Keep your head in line. Notice where you feel sensation. Back up to vertical and put the other hand behind. Again, keeping that shoulder in that external rotation, that pack position. And bring your head over to the opposite side. And breathe. Keep your head in line with the rest of your torso. And notice where you feel sensation. Maybe notice how it might be different than every other time you've done this pose. And back up to vertical. Grab both fingertips, hands, forearms, elbows again. And head in line. And then do our twist. Look over one shoulder. And then the other. And do that again. Come to neutral again. I'm going to let someone in. And this time, if you want to release one hand down, see if you can do a side bend of your whole torso. What does that feel like? And again, make sure that your shoulder isn't rolling forward. Breathe into your side back up. Switch sides. One hand behind, one maybe at your side. Head in line with the rest of your torso. Breathe. Come up again, and then let's do a twist. So let's consciously externally rotate the shoulder, put that hand behind you, and then inhale tall, exhale, look behind you. Breathe, release whenever you're ready, and switch sides. So externally, like hitchhiker thumb, behind you. Other hand on the other thigh. Inhale tall, exhale, look behind you. Release whenever you're ready. And then both hands behind in whatever grab you do, and notice whatever grab you naturally do, and do the opposite just to see. So if you always have your one thumb on top, try the other thumb. If you always have one arm on top, grab the other arm on top. Let's alternate whatever you've got. And from here, we're going to just do our big circles. And notice how this shape shifts them from where you normally do, and be okay with the little wobbliness. Have fun with it, and go ahead and switch directions. And come back up to vertical mountain from seated. Bring your head in line with everything else. Try to make sure your shoulders are in that pack external rotation position. Okay, we're going to come on to standing on our knees. You either put a fold in your mat. I don't want to disturb her, so I'm going to leave her there and grab a pillow for my knees. And we're going to do variations of camel. You can do whatever grab you were doing before. But again, make sure you're not have a tendency to roll forward like I do. Try to get that external rotation. Maybe even your shape is just like this. Maybe you can't grab behind you. Whatever. You can also try we've done in class before, fingers pointed down, hands up on your lower back. You could try that as long as you're not rolling forward like I am. Okay, so here we are. Shoulders in the external rotation position, and then energetically beam your heart center, the center of your chest, towards the sky. If you want to look up, that's fine. Sometimes looking up can make people feel dizzy, or at least towards the corner of your room. So here we go. Inhale, beam your heart towards the sky, and exhale, come on down, counter stretch into puppy or child's pose or whatever feels good. Inhale, come on up, heart towards the sky. Imagine a string pulling you up. Exhale, come on down the other way. Inhale, up, beam, exhale, come on down. And one more, inhale, up, and exhale to mountain on your knees. Okay, we're going to bring, very convenient that she's going into an itch, right leg forward. My left arm is going to, we're going to do low lunge. My left arm is, right leg forward. My right hand, I'm going to externally rotate, either just by putting my palm towards the front of my space or out towards the side. So I make sure that this shoulder stays in that external rotation position. And then I'm going to do arm circles with my left hand. Externally rotating that with each circle. Matching breath with movement. As I inhale and reach back, as I go up and back, it's an inhale. As I go down and forward, exhale. I'm going to add on a challenge. This time, as you come up and back, see if you can tap your heel. Inhale, up and back. and tap your heel. Do that one again. And either repeat that, or if you have some flexibility in your quad, come onto the almost the front of your knee here, the little pad off of your kneecap. Lift the back shin up and see if you can grab your back foot. For some of us, this is easy. For some of us, this is impossible. To maintain the external rotation, I have grabbed the arch side of my foot. Ooh, I'm falling out. If you fall out, just come back in. Or actually, you can go ahead and release. Come back, hands into facing towards the front of your mat. And then here's our challenge. Come up to standing into crescent pose. So crescent pose is the one where you're on your back toes and you're still in your lunge in your front foot. Your hips and shoulders are facing towards the front of your mat. And this time, both hands are in this sort of external rotation position. Head is trying to be in line with the rest of my spine. This time we're going to arch our right arm up and back. Big circles with right arm, ensuring that we have this external rotation. Ooh. A little bit of balance. Last one. And then feet together, back into mountain. Shake out your arms and legs. Nicely done. So let's think about mountain pose, making sure that our shoulders are in this back external rotation position. So hands forward, and then everything's in stack, feet pointing straight ahead, and make sure your head is in line with the rest of your spine. Maybe imagine a puppet string pulling out of the top of your head up towards the sky. And we're going to do a half sun salutation. So inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, maybe bend your knees, let your head dangle. And be here for a couple breaths. Maybe shift your weight from left to right, maybe nod and know your head. And then on your next inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, reach for your toes. Inhale, stand up, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Okay, we're going to try that same sequence, but this time, see if you can grab your hands behind you and see how that shifts your shape. So externally rotating, packing your shoulders, standing in your mountain. You might have a natural curve more than you normally do, just to try to keep your shoulders in line, head in line with everything else. Then inhale, maybe even look up. Exhale, fold forward, maintaining external rotation of your shoulders. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, bend down into forward fold again. Inhale, stand up. Look up. Exhale, look into neutral. Okay. Now we're going to do a full sun salutation. Might I need to move you? I hate to do that. I'll just talk you through it. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, come on down to your bellies. And this time, grab your hands behind you for cobra. Inhale, arch your back, lift your chest off the ground. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, peel your chest off the ground. Exhale, lower. Then hands down at underneath your shoulders and rock back into puppy. And I recommend really reaching with your arms overhead so that you can stretch in your armpit area. And breathe. And then come back up to standing on your knees again. Find a position for your hands behind you, either just externally rotating your arms or grabbing your hands or forearms or whatever it is for your body, or the camel. Also, this time we're going to hold a little bit more. So we'll do camel again, but beam your heart up to the ceiling, really thinking about your shoulders in that external rotation position, not forward at all. One more breath here, and then exhale, release your hands and come into your counter stretch, child's pose or puppy. Let's do that again. Standing on your knees, grabbing or putting your hands on your lower back or whatever it is for you. Inhale, look up, beam your heart towards the ceiling, energetically opening your chest. Maybe looking up, maybe not. One more breath here. Exhale, come on down into your counter stretch, child's pose or puppy. And come up to standing on your knees again, and this time we'll just switch sides for our low lunge. So left knee forward, hands are facing towards the front of my space. And this time, left hand stays pointing forward and right arm is going to do circles. You want to follow your hand as it goes around. That sometimes can be a slightly different sensation. And on the next one, try a heel tap. Do that again. And then we're going to hold. If you'd like to, see if you can grab your arch side of your back foot. Go ahead and do that. And breathe. One more inhale here. Go ahead and release. And come up into standing. Whoop. Crescent pose. Looks like Luna's about to go on a walk. Or are you going to the store? Okay. Hips towards the front of your space, shoulders towards the front of your space, arms in external rotation. And then this time it's our left arm that's going to do giant circles. She's leaving us. And then go ahead and bring your feet together, shake out your legs. And we have one more standing pose, our challenge pose. It's called Dancer. So standing in mountain, everything's lined up like you know it should be. And this time, shift your weight into your right foot. It's a balance pose. And grab your left foot if you can. If you can't, grab your left pant leg or shin or whatever it is for you. If you're grabbing your foot, grab the arch side of your foot so that you make sure that your shoulder is in that external rotation position. I'm lucky I have a wall right here that I can use as support to make sure. It's more of a challenge if your hand's free. Either stay here, trying to stay tall and have that external rotation stretch, or if you like to add on to your challenge, teeter-totter forward, bringing your torso towards horizontal, And then if you want to expand this even more, kick into that top foot. Again, I'm holding on. If you're not holding on, you'll probably fall out. And if you fall out, see if you can come back in. Really stretching, kicking into the hand, pulling in, or kicking into your hand. That's what it is. One more breath here, and then go ahead. Come on out. Shake everything out. Good job. And we're going to switch legs. Shift your weight into your left leg. Grab your right foot or whatever variation makes sense for you. Externally rotating into your shoulder. Either stay here or teeter-totter forward. This adds to the challenge, not necessarily to the stretch, but it makes it more balancy. I'm going to try hands-free this time. Whoop. Kick into your hand. This part is definitely more challenging. Breathe. Fall out if you need to. See if you can come back in. One more breath here. Feet down. Shake it out. High five. Congratulations, everybody. Good job. Okay, we're coming down, final stretch, coming down to our mats in a sun salutation. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach for your toes. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, come on down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, puppy. Again, stretching in your armpit area, really reaching your hands on the mat ahead. What is it? Above you, I guess? And then coming out of puppy pose into seated, our next pose is reverse tabletop. In order to maintain my external rotation of my shoulders, I recommend hands pointed away from your body, or maybe away from your body in some direction. It could be angled out like diagonal or straight away. Find whatever position is ready for you. Your feet comfortably in front of you, and then your next inhale, push into your feet and hands and make a table out of your body. Keep breathing. Imagine putting a cup of coffee on your belly and it won't fall off. One more breath here. And come on down. Shake out your wrist if you need to. We're going to do that 2 more times. If you'd like more challenge, you're welcome to try reverse plank, which is you put your feet out a little bit wider or flatten out your feet and then come up onto your toes. I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to do reverse tabletop again. So here we go. Inhale, push. Put your body into the table. Notice where you're feeling the stretch, making sure you're externally rotating your shoulders. Lift your hips a teeny bit higher and go ahead and lower. And we're going to do one more reverse tabletop. So get your comfortable stance. On your next inhale, push up. Maybe you're in full plank. Reverse plank. Keep breathing. One more breath here. Lift and go ahead and lower. And then shake out your wrists. And it might be, particularly if you did reverse plank, touch the skin of your wrists and then do wrist rolls, maintaining contact with your skin. And this is like a wrist reliever. And switch directions. Great. Okay, come on to your backs. We're done with our vigorous stuff. Great, perfect timing. You're in good shape. Grab the tops of your knees and give yourself a little lower back massage. Rock left and right, forward and back. Draw circles with your knees. Pump your knees in and release whatever feels good. And then we're going into thread the needle, and that's the one where you cross. Let's start with right ankle over upper left thigh. Flex the right foot so that you don't injure your right knee at all. And then lift your left foot off the ground. Maybe grab the top of your left knee or grab your left thigh with both hands or your left shin with both hands, whatever is good for your geometry. If you're near a wall, you could put your foot up on the wall as a support. That sometimes feels good. And you should feel it in your hamstring, hip, glute, lower back, particularly on the right side of your body. So adjust so that you can be in a state of rest. Your head should still be on the ground. So do whatever shape is right for you so that you have the sensation that you're interested in having. And keep breathing. You're welcome to rock or draw circles and notice how that shifts the stretch. And then when we're ready, when you are ready, we're going to go into a twist from here. And what that looks like is keeping your body in this shape, roll onto your left side. So left shoulder's on the ground, left thigh's on the ground, right foot is on the ground. You can release your hands and then take your right shoulder or your top shoulder and peel it towards the ground behind you. And this is a very gentle stretch, twist. If you don't feel anything and you really need to, you can shift your shape into a different twist if you'd like to, or be okay with having less sensation than you might otherwise. Breathe into your twist. I know a lot of you have been doing other kinds of workouts, and maybe you're feeling the effects of that in this practice today or in this shape. When you're ready, bring both knees up to vertical, both feet on the ground. Shake out your hips if you'd like to, and we're going to switch sides. So left ankle crosses over upper right thigh. Bring the right foot off the ground and either grab your top of your right knee, your right thigh, your right shin, or maybe your right foot is propped up against a wall or a block or just in the air. And you should be feeling it on your left side, left hamstring, hip, glute, maybe even lower back. I recommend flexing the left foot to make sure that you don't torque your left knee. Energetically pull your right knee in towards your chest as you push your left knee away from your body. You don't have to physically do it. You don't want to, you do it with your muscles and your mind. And keep breathing. If you'd like to move while you're in this shape, rock left or right, whatever, draw circles, whatever feels good. And notice how this movement might shift the stretch. or just be in stillness. And when you're ready, take this whole apparatus and flop it over towards your right side. And then take your left shoulder and peel it towards the ground behind you. So my right foot is on the ground. Sorry, my left foot is on the ground, right thigh, right shoulder. And breathe. And then everything up to vertical. Again, both feet on the ground. Shake out your hips if you want to. And then bring both knees in towards your chest. Final time of self-massage of your lower back. And then bring your knees tightly into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. And then go ahead and find your favorite Shavasana position. I'm going to go ahead and sit up because we have a guided meditation for today. Okay. So settle in, find your position of rest, maybe on your back, maybe on your side, maybe you're on your belly. If you prefer to sit up, you're welcome to do so. I'm going to switch cameras. Okay. Do a little scan of your body with curiosity. What, if anything, feels good right now? Or the least bad? Just kind of notice where that space is. Notice where you feel strong and where you feel the least strong or don't feel strong at all. And maybe send kindness to that area or areas. And before you go into your full Shavasana rest, let's breathe together, maybe with that 3-part breath that we were doing before. So belly, chest, tip it up at the very top and everything out. Let's do that again. Belly, chest, top it off, everything out. And allow your chest to expand and fill with breath. And as you do this, and as you expand your chest center area, say to yourself, I am love. I am love. Allow love to flow from your energetic heart throughout your body. Notice areas where there's stuckness or resistance or Hard to get that sense of energy or flow to that area. Just notice without judgment, if possible. And focusing on that energetic heart center, allow your gentle, tender nature to emerge. Fill your body with gentleness. Be the most loving, tender being that you can imagine. I am love. Allow yourself to say, I love everything about myself. I love everything about myself. I am my own best friend in life. I am my own best friend in life. I trust in love. I trust in love. And feel the loving energy flow from your heart throughout your body. And allow your love to expand to the people in your life that you love and care for. Send your love to them. Loving kindness energy is boundless, and it's one of the things they call what word? Not necessarily infinite, immeasurable, meaning that as you give more, you get more. You never run out. And see if you can expand your love to the whole planet. Visualize embracing the whole world in a hug. Know that you are healing the world as you send love. You're healing yourself as you send love. And if that's a little much for you right now, then bring it in. You need all the love and compassion, and send it to yourself. It will grow. And you are healing yourself as you send your love. Gently release the visualization and relax if you can. And be at peace with yourself as you realize that you are the source of love in your life. I am love. It's time for us to come out of our Shavasana. So maybe take a big breath in and let it go. Maybe start wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe wrist circles or ankle circles. Maybe a full body stretch. And kindly bring yourself back up to seated. Either push yourself up with your head coming up last, or rock and roll to sitting. There's two of the common ways to come up gently. Once you're back up to seated, do another scan. Check in with your mind, your body, your heart. And think of 3 words to describe yourself now. Notice if there's any shifts or if there aren't. If you are willing to share your new words or the words that describe you now in the chat, I would appreciate that. And there's a lot of research that says that affirmations or visualizations or this fake it till you make it works. So even if you don't necessarily believe that you love everything about yourself, if you tell yourself that, you might start to believe it. Open to the possibility that you are enough. Lovely. Thank you guys for sharing. A couple of people are direct messaging me, feeling freer, kinder, more thoughtful, more relaxed and light, calmer. Good stuff. More at peace. Lovely. Thank you, guys. May the inner love in me reflect the inner love in you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing today. And you're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one.